Welcome to our Wednesday, November 26th special meeting. Allow me to call this meeting to order and begin with pledge allegiance to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, council, let me just open up with a few comments, and that is while we take roll call, we'll mention that Mr. Rozak is participating telephonically. All other council members are here, with the exception of the mayor. The mayor is absent today. With that being said, there's some confusion on the agenda, so with that, I'd like to open up with a motion to amend the agenda to address just clarity on what we're resolving today and what we're gonna have, and that is public comment and two new business items. So with that, I'll make a motion to amend the agenda. I have a second from Mr. Ritter. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any objections? No objections to amend the agenda. Motion carries. Thank you, council. And with that, we're going to begin with public comment, and I just want to clarify our procedures. The public comments, you'll have an opportunity to make public comments on the new business items. So this is public comment on non-agenda items. Raise your hand if you'd like to make a public comment. Okay, state your, to the podium, sir. State your name and address. And I just want to caution the gallery that we're going to be kind and respectful, which means we must be quiet while somebody's speaking. Thank you.
My name is Bill Pacey, property owner in Macungie. I only have one question. Why would you have public comment before the people in this room know what the agenda is? In that cart in front of the horse?
So you should all, I suspect you all received or have seen the public notice. The public notice that was issued for this morning's meeting specifically provides for two potential topics.
Where was the public notice?
Public notice was advertised in the morning call. It was posted on the Borough website, and my understanding was also posted on the MI in the Borough.
Not till afternoon.
Did you have a printout that could be
Excuse me.
obtained here?
Excuse me. Go ahead, sir.
Did you have a printout that could be gotten here?
That I don't know.
There's a lot of people that don't have access to the morning call. Most people don't pay attention to the town's webpage, most. And a 9 o'clock in the morning meeting, I'm surprised there's this many people here. That's something that should have happened in the evening hours, because there's a lot of people here that had to take off work. Some of them don't know why they're here, other than what they've heard from neighbors.
Okay, so the public notice
Yes.
that was advertised and posted pursuant to the Sunshine Act was for,
I heard Church Street. I heard turmoil in the office.
so the advertisement read, notice is hereby given that the Macungie Borough Council will hold a special meeting on November 26, 2025 at 9 a.m. at the Macungie Institute Auditorium, 510 East Main Street, Macungie, Pennsylvania, to consider and possibly approve an amended internal affairs investigation policy and possible employee directives associated with a pending investigation. Borough Council may consider any other business that comes before it at this special meeting in accordance with the law. All interested parties are invited to attend this special meeting. And then what just occurred when the council opened the meeting, because there was an agenda, my understanding is that there was an agenda that was then posted included other items, likely because it was just a form agenda that Macungie has used in the past. The motion that I believe passed was to amend the agenda at this meeting to remove everything except for the public comment and the two items listed under new business, which are the two items that were listed in the public notice for this morning's meeting.
So was the turmoil in the office eliminated?
I'm not sure what you're referring to with respect to the
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. State your name and address.
My name is Bob Bogert. I live at 159 South Church Street, Macungie. I just want to reiterate a little bit about what he said. I understand that proper procedure was followed in the posting and everything else. My one question is, why at 9 o'clock in the morning and not at 7 o'clock at night? That's I just want to know that question. 9 o'clock is not a time to have a meeting that might be very important to the residents of Macungie.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you. And on to business. 14A.
Yeah, are you gonna answer?
Excuse me,
No,
Excuse
they're not
me.
gonna answer anything.
we're moving on.
That's why they had
Thank
it
you.
at 9 o'clock.
So
You didn't answer.
this is public comment. This is not question and answer. This is an opportunity for public to provide comment.
I have a comment. May I?
Come to the podium, sir. Do you live in the borough?
No.
Do you pay taxes in the borough? Do you pay taxes in the borough? Okay.
No, yes, I do.
Let's-
Yes, I do, actually.
He works here, he pays taxes.
Okay. Does that qualify?
Yes, I have spoken it.
Excuse me, sir.
You can take his. Yeah, you can
Okay,
take his.
come to the podium,
Can't
sir.
take yours.
Introduce yourself, provide your name and address.
My name is Corporal Mullen. I'm employed by the Borough of Macungie as a police officer. I've been employed under that position for the past 24 years, 21 Locust Street. A very simple question. It's just a time that I can comment on the policy being implemented.
So that's one of, I believe there'll be an opportunity to comment or provide comment on those two new agenda items when they're going to be before council.
I'll wait till then. Thank you.
Okay, with that being said, we move on to our agenda, council. New item, new business A. And at this time, I'll yield to Attorney Kerr.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. Everybody, my name is Christopher Gerber. I serve as Labor Counsel for the Borough of Macungie. Thank you for inviting me here today. Council President and Council have asked me to just briefly summarize some of the recommended amendments to the Police Internal Affairs Policy. I view it as a bit of a tune-up in order to clarify the roles of Borough Council, the Mayor, and the Police Department relative to internal affairs investigations. I've had the privilege of representing municipalities all over the Commonwealth on this issue, and I thank the Council for the opportunity to assist them in tightening up their policy as well. Ultimately, in the event they approve it, this would certainly be subject to public disclosure, which is a healthy thing. I'll just summarize it, and we never get into details on personnel issues, just so everybody knows out in public. But the amended policy has provisions in it that defines the obligations of the council, the mayor, and the police department. It also ensures that there are due process rights to police officers who might be investigated or charged with administrative misconduct or neglect. It also ensures that the roles are properly separated, where the council sits in judgment and investigators will investigate allegations of misconduct against police officers. That's for the benefit of police officers who are entitled to due process rights. So it's really a modification of the present policy that you have. I'm making recommendations based upon my review of that. Unless anybody has any questions here from council.
Is this a time for council comment on the policy?
You may comment or ask Mr. Gerber questions.
I just wasn't sure when council got to comment on the policy. Is that now or
Sure.
in a minute? Okay, so I wrote something about the policy after reviewing it. After reviewing the proposed internal affairs policy, I read not just our Macungie Borough Code, but more importantly, the PA Borough Code. Getting to Title 8, Chapter 11, Section 1123.1. Shy of reading that whole section out loud, suffice it to say, I can see why the precedent for upholding this section has already been set in the past.
I'm sorry?
I can see why the precedent has already been set for upholding this section in the past. I'll explain. Shy of me reading it all out loud, I'd rather summarize by saying that the Commonwealth Court has already reviewed the disputes where council ordinances in the past have attempted to define the police duties or alter their supervisory structure. The court did stress in the past that the ordinances cannot be read to defeat the mayor's statutory control over the police force. As council, I believe that we can set budget, create police ranks through ordinances, and put general administrative policies in place like rules for training and record keeping. But I don't see how we can get involved in running individual investigations or deciding discipline. The law makes it clear that those day-to-day operational decisions belong to the mayor. If there is internal affairs discussions, I think I remember bringing this up to you before, Chris, I think that should be the DA. We could even require the chief or the mayor to provide redacted summaries to council. That way we could be informed, but it wouldn't really disclose any case level detail or attempt to direct their investigations. I think if a rule like this was passed, it would be struck down. I did also want to comment about the anonymous complaints section. Allowing anonymous complaints, to me, undermines fairness and due process, because when a police investigation is triggered by an unidentified complainant, the accused or the resident or whomever has no ability to confront the source of the allegation, no way to understand the motive behind the complaint, and no assurance that the allegation was even made in good faith. I think it opens the door to abuse of police resources, especially in our small community. And as council, I can remember observing this in the past, we won't even accept letters or correspondence if it's not signed by the person who's responsible for sending it. So I don't see why we would instruct our police department to do something that we as council won't even accept a letter from. That's my comment.
Well taken. I'll go in reverse order. On anonymous complaints, I couldn't agree with you more. There are a number of reasons why you wouldn't want to just per se ignore an anonymous complaint. There's scores of examples where an anonymous complaint may have been filed by someone in your own organization that we're pretty sure who it was. You can't just ignore it. So I'm with you that each case is different. And another thing is, and I represent police officers for a living as well. I'm a management lawyer, but I also represent police officers. Certainly, you would not want to file charges against a police officer based upon a lack of evidence. So I'm with you. But I think that it per se, I've seen certain policies that per se ban consideration of anonymous complaints. That's not appropriate. I think it depends upon the gravity of the evidence that you have. I mean, if there's nothing to form the basis of it, then you wouldn't charge the officer. But it's a point well taken. The district attorney, let's talk about that for a minute. So the district attorney here in Pennsylvania, their role is criminal only. The district attorney will not get involved in administrative investigations into misconduct. That's not their role, and they won't do it, and they shouldn't do it. The mayor, this has caused such tension all over Pennsylvania. I've written on it. It's unfortunate because some of the statutes are not all that clear, but I will submit this. The case law is clear. That the council ultimately has the exclusive authority to determine how it investigates or polices the police. That is well settled here in Pennsylvania. It is the governing body. It is not the mayor. It's nothing personal against the mayor. It's just not his job. It is this council's, we just talked about in executive session, it's this council's obligation to ensure that you're running a constitutional police department. If they were to turn a blind eye to misconduct and neglect in the police department, they could be liable for civil rights violations. So it is their job, the buck stops with the council, and all this policy does, this amendment, is to clarify those roles and obligations that are already defined by case law. So that's an important point of it, but point well taken. I know that certain mayors out there may disagree with that, but it doesn't change the law. So this isn't personal, this is not targeting anybody, this is an adjustment to your policies to ensure that you're operating a constitutional and lawful police department. But yeah, great thoughts. Any other questions from council?
Okay, at this time, I'd like somebody to, oh, go ahead. Yeah, we can have public comment. Anybody care to make a public comment?
Yeah, my name is Corporal Mullen, 21 Locust Street. I'm a borough employee as a police officer for the past 24 years. I'm going to disagree with Attorney Gerber today on his summarization of this internal affairs policy. I'm looking at the policy, which I discovered yesterday. I had one day to look at it. In that one day, the purpose of this policy is to establish fair and impartial procedures conducting investigations. Fair and impartial. If you get to peruse through this internal affairs investigation, I'll read one little part of it here at the end. Council reserves its authority to designate a qualified person to conduct the investigation consistent with the terms of this policy. That means council gets to decide who investigates and who would investigate, the labor attorney who's paid by council. That does not seem fair and impartial to me. It does not. There's been procedures in place that have been in this department for 20 years. They were revised 10 years ago. There's never been an issue like this that has arisen until very, very recently. Those items will come to light shortly. We have been in negotiations with Attorney Gerber through the FOP attorney to try to rectify this policy. And I discovered there's a policy already going to be voted on today. So I guess we didn't negotiate any further than that. Sergeant Cucker and I also reached out to Attorney Gerber, requested a meeting in executive session with the Borough Council to address this and the investigation that they are conducting. We were refused that right to speak to council. Does council even know that a request was made? I didn't think so. And we've met with council many times before in executive session to work out issues. This time we're not allowed to meet with them. I don't have the answers to those questions. Borough Council can answer them. But if you have time to look through this borough policy, it's clearly not fair and impartial. Our department is completely transparent. I will answer any question that any of you have on that investigation today, right now, in front of these people. Ask. I didn't think so. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Brown.
There's a handout there.
Okay. Come to the podium, please. State your name and address again, please.
My name's Bob Bogert, 159 South Church Street, Macungie. I just have one comment. I couldn't agree with Corporal Mullen more. The policies that are being put in place seem to me to be nothing more than a heavy-handed way to take more control over this borough. That's all I have to say.
Anyone else? Yes.
Dennis Fritz, 32 Main Street. I agree with Corporal Mullen and Mr. Bogert. Yes, this is a heavy-handed way of somebody wants to control the whole borough. I was involved with negotiations with the fire department with Mr. Kowalski, a lawyer. We did not go along with that agreement because of a few things in here. Mr. Kowalski wanted to control everything. That's what he's after in this town. People need to wake up and realize what's going on. He wants total control of everything. So, and I have it here if anybody wants to question it. That's it, thank you.
Anyone else? Come to the podium, please. State your name and address.
Hi, my name is Terry Brooks. I live at 42 North Putnam Street in Macungie. I have to say, I'm very uncomfortable coming up here, since I've had dealings with you, Mr. Grabowski. I totally agree with Officer Mullen, the other gentleman. I think that there is really no transparency by council, and that things should be more involved with the people of Macungie, and that I appreciate our police force. I think I would like some changes, but I think they do a great job for us. And I think that they should be supported in what they do and their negotiations. It just seems very underhanded to me how this was done this morning, and they weren't given an opportunity to address this attorney or these issues. Thank you.
I'd like to correct something, Mr. President. I'm not going to get into details, but the public should know this, that the policies provided to them and their attorney months ago. That's nonsense. I also want to make a point that these recommendations have nothing to do with Mr. Grabowski or some attempt to control. Rather, the borough is complying with the law. You know, it's not worth my license to sit up here and support someone who's doing something inappropriately. That's not happening on my watch. I represent many municipalities and I represent individual police officers, and the public should be disavowed of any suggestion that the Borough Council has done anything unlawful or inappropriate, period. Let me make that clear. These are good people, they rely upon their lawyers, and they're doing the right thing. This policy will be made public in the event that they pass it, but I'm not going to sit here and listen to suggestions that this council has acted wrongfully. Absolutely not.
Mr. Gerber, can you clarify who does the investigations in this policy?
It is up to council. Typically, when you have a ranking structure with a chief of police who has training on conducting internal affairs investigation, that is the ideal way. Every case is different. It depends. In the event the chief of police may be implicated, obviously the chief of police can't do the investigation, in which case the governing body will have to designate someone to do it. That's the point of the policy. So it really does depend, but someone that is trained in internal affairs with no conflict of interest would ideally conduct the investigation.
So that would not be you, that would be a third party that was independent.
Well, my role as labor attorney, I'm assisting you with negotiating collective bargaining agreements, so it shouldn't be me. It really does depend on the facts, but this policy will serve to clarify how the decision-making is done, so that there isn't confusion, which apparently the police department is confused.
Mrs. Sells next.
I just have a question. You said it's designated by council, so council can choose. You said the person who would do an investigation is designated by council.
Excuse me, speak up, please.
I mean, I need a megaphone. The person designated by council, that can be anyone. It would be you or whomever we choose, right? But you said it couldn't be the DA?
That's correct, yeah.
Could it be a state trooper, since that would be completely impartial?
No, law enforcement will not get involved, nor should they. They're not authorized to conduct non-criminal administrative investigations. It is a good question. Other jurisdictions, other states may do that, but that's not a role of the district attorney.
I'm just wondering if you have advice on who a third party could be, rather than deciding at the time.
Sure, a qualified lawyer who conducts internal affairs investigations and is skilled in labor and civil rights law. Oftentimes, you have to consider hiring an attorney for that purpose, because in small municipalities where you just don't have, council can't do it,
Right.
and where the police department doesn't have someone trained, or maybe they have conflicts of interest, there's nobody left. So what you do is you hire a qualified lawyer who will then conduct the investigation and then report back to council with findings. That's how it's done all throughout the Commonwealth.
Okay.
Okay, question in the back row? You can ask your questions from where you're seated at, but that's fine. Just state your name and address for the record.
Again, this question has been asked, but we have not gotten an answer. The transparency is supposed to be almost concern to everybody on the board. Why this meeting on a Wednesday morning before Thanksgiving at 9 o'clock? I'd like an answer.
You want us to answer that?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
That would be nice.
It's necessary. This is a necessary step to make sure that the police department is acting in accordance with law.
We have a meeting held regularly in the evenings.
On Monday.
Where more people are able to attend, which this is an important issue. And I would think that that would be the utmost concern, as many people in the borough has access to this information in this meeting.
Well, without getting into the process, how we've gotten to this is not the first step. This has been, step 30. And with the holiday coming up, we tried to get a meeting done for Monday evening and Tuesday and so forth, and we couldn't meet the deadline. So in order to meet the deadline with the morning call, we made it today. As I reached out to council members, they preferred not to have it in the evening to free up for the holiday. So they wanted to make it first thing available, and we knew that we would have the attorneys available. So it's hard to coordinate. There's nothing nefarious going on.
So how many hours would we give it? Because I think the sunshine law states that it has to be put up 24 hours.
Asked and answered. The attorney.
Yeah, so-
They're addressing.
So the legal notice for this special meeting, which listed the two items that council's considering this morning, was advertised in the morning call 24 hours in advance of the meeting. It was advertised yesterday's edition of the morning call. And that public notice, my understanding, John Brown may want to just confirm, was posted on the Borough website yesterday.
The Borough website.
2 days ago.
On Monday.
And it was posted at the Macungie Institute in Borough Hall on Monday. The legal notice,
What time?
which had the two specific items listed.
So basically, the borough was more concerned about the morning call, getting the notification out, than you were worried about the people being able to attend. Is that my understanding?
Well, I'm just answering from the legal standpoint
Right.
that legally, the borough complied with the requirements associated with the legal notice associated with this meeting.
We have a meeting set up for December 1st, correct?
I believe that's the regular business meeting of the borough.
That is
Yes.
correct, yes.
Okay. Mr. Sell.
I'm Bob Sell, Mayor-elect. I had a question for Mr. Gerber. Who's paying for the special investigator? Who pays them? The borough. That's all I need. So council.
Council, right.
So council's in charge of the special investigator.
I'm sorry?
Council would be overseeing the special investigator.
No.
No, they pay him.
When
They're
you're the
his
mayor,
boss.
I'd be happy
They're
to
his,
discuss the legal
they're his-
issues with you.
yeah, but they're his boss then, correct?
No.
But they pay him, so they have to be.
No.
Okay.
You know what, when you take office, I look forward to meeting with you so that we can discuss that.
Okay.
There's
So
nothing
do I.
nefarious here, nothing.
You can keep using that word, that's fine.
Okay, in the back.
Hi,
Yes.
Bernie Reiner. I'm a homeowner at 142 East Main Street. I've lived in this community for 8, 9 years now. Only ever felt compelled to come to a meeting today at the advice of my neighbors and friends here. I don't think half of us in this room understand, one, everybody is asking why we have to be here at 9 a.m. You already have a meeting scheduled for Monday. What was so important, what is so critical that needed to be addressed today versus 4 days from now? What is changing? What is it? If there's nothing nefarious, what is the reason that, because it's convenient for all of you to be here? That's the reason we got? There's nothing nefarious, there's no reason for it. We had a meeting, we couldn't make the deadline. We legally met the requirements of notification, just towing the line. Some more explanation is, I think, in order here. Don't just repeat the same thing you've said to everybody else. Give us some new information.
Really?
I understand, there are personnel issues that cannot be discussed. And I'll share this. Another thing about internal affairs investigations that can be frustrating to the public is that details of internal affairs investigations cannot nor should be shared in the public for a couple of reasons. To maintain the integrity of the investigation and to protect the reputations of those involved. So there are, I will suggest this, that unfortunately, the council is not able to comment on that here in this forum.
I'm not asking you to tell me the details of the investigation. I'm asking you to say, is there a reason? Because the only reason we've gotten is your convenience.
Yes, there is a reason. It's a personnel reason.
And
That's
when
what I'm trying to
will
convey.
that be shared with the public?
Never, because that is part,
Awesome, thank you.
that is
That's
part,
maybe
I'm
that's
not
my
finished. It's part of a personnel inquiry that is not to be shared in public. It wouldn't be fair to complainants, it wouldn't be fair to the targets, it wouldn't be fair to anybody, and it would compromise the integrity of the investigation.
So
That's
we'll never
the-
know the answer.
No, nor should you.
Oh, we should never know the answer.
No, with regard to details of investigations to protect those that are involved. Now, dispositions and things like that, certainly. But to get into the details of something is not fair to the people who are involved.
Okay, the gentleman that spoke earlier, and
The earlier gentleman,
state your name, please, and address, sir.
Phil Casey.
Thank you.
We've now wasted 1/2 of an hour on logistics. We haven't really answered anything other than what you can't do. I don't have access to the Call Chronicle. I never even heard of this meeting until this morning. There's probably a lot of people in this room that don't even know why we're having the meeting. Without being specific to who the people are, can you at least tell us why we're here? What is the allegation of something without talking about the person?
Again, this is public comment, not question answer. We're kind of getting a little lost in the weeds. But again, sir, I think I indicated before that there are 2 items that were listed in the legal notice for this meeting as to what is before council for consideration this morning. One is the internal affairs policy, which Attorney Gerber and went through, and members of the public and the council have asked questions to clarify. That is the one item. And the other item, specifically listed in the legal notice for this morning's meeting, is also to direct employees to participate in an investigation. Those are the 2 items. That is what council is here for today to consider.
Would it be better to?
And again, this is public comment. And right now, actually, sir, the comment right now should be specific to the one item that is currently before council, which is the resolution, which would be implementing and adopting the amended internal affairs policy. That is what comment is right now that council is inviting the public to provide. So if your comment, I'm hoping your comment is with respect to the internal affairs policy.
Generally, between 2 issues, it could be the same comment for the second issue. So we're half of now a plus into this, and we still haven't discussed the actual issues. The semantics, which is back here, can come up after you discuss those things. You still haven't discussed the actual issue. That's my comment.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yes.
Corporal Mullen?
Yeah, Corporal Mullins, Loyal Oak Street, Police. Try to clarify a couple of things. Our department has been involved in multiple internal affairs investigations. Unfortunately, some of them have resulted in termination of an employee. Some have not. There was a very specific incident that happened and we investigated. Borough Council is not happy with the outcome of that investigation. That's why we're here. That's why there's a new policy. Period.
Thank you.
Thank you.
24 years, I've never been disciplined. I have a spotless record. We'll see how that fares in the next month. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, council, thank you, everyone, thank you for the public comment. And at this time, I'd like to ask council if they're prepared to make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 2025-12.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Mr. Carl Sell, motion from Mr. Hutchinson. All in favor?
Aye.
And I would like to quickly take a vote. Mr. Sell? Mr. Ritter? Mr. Hutchinson?
Yes.
Mrs. Sell?
No.
Mr. Yerman?
Aye.
Mr. Rozak?
Aye.
And myself, aye. That's six, excuse me, sir. 6-1, motion carries unanimously. Next order of business, consideration of motion.
That's not unanimous.
Excuse me, 6-1, thank you. Consideration of motion to require all borough police officers to cooperate with the borough's internal affairs investigation that is being conducted by Special Counsel Patrick Harvey, Esquire, which includes testifying at administrative interviews that are scheduled by Mr. Harvey.
So moved.
Motion, with any public comment with regard to the next item?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I have a
Yes.
motion from
Excuse
Mr.
me.
Hutchinson.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
We'll come back. We'll come back. I have a
Well,
motion.
no, before you do this, you asked if there's a comment.
Excuse me.
Is there one?
Do not call out if you're called upon.
Oh, yeah, sure.
You called for
This
hands,
is-
hands were raised, you ignored
We
me.
need to maintain decorum. This is a professional public
I
meeting.
agree.
I think what Council President is indicating, they can accept public comment before formally voting on the motion. I believe he's waiting for a second to see if there's a motion on the floor, then they'll accept public comment.
I have a motion from Mr. Hutchinson. I have a second from Mr. Rozak. Okay. Public comment, go ahead, raise your hand.
Hi, I'm Terry Bliss. I live at 42 North Buttonwood Street in Macungie, PA. I'm kind of aghast by all this. I'm curious, I know this is a comment, so I don't know how to pose it exactly as a comment, but I'm wondering, Attorney Goober, who, I don't know who you're working for, the council or the people of Macungie? I was wondering, I just found out now, you're voting on this policy for the police who protect us. The community. Today, you're voting today. Can this be postponed until more of us, I'm concerned about this, I'm very concerned, and I don't trust any lawyers, but I do trust our police, and I think they deserve a fairer chance. I'm sorry, I just.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Yes, state your name,
Yeah,
address.
I would like to know why Mr. Rozak is able to have any vote here, since he's a felon, should not be on council to begin with, and he doesn't live in town anymore. but yet he let him hear a council meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Fritz.
You are corrupt.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, council, I'd like a vote. I have a motion on the floor from Mr. Hutchinson, a second from Mr. Rozak. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any objections?
No.
Okay, is that a descending vote?
What does that mean?
Okay, well, let's take a vote. I have a yes, yes,
Yes.
No.
no,
Aye.
and Mr. Rozak?
Yes.
And myself, yes, that's 6-1 to pass, the, new business item, to direct the, police department to participate in administrative interviews, with Mr. Harvey. Motion carries unanimously.
No,
It's
not
not.
unanimous.
6-1, thank you. I apologize. 6-1, and, that concludes tonight, thank you.
Good morning.
Tonight, this morning.
With that, we're gonna need a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
To adjourn? Can I have a second?
Second. Oh, let's
Have a second for Mr. Hutchinson, all in favor?
Aye.